What would you like, the bloggers out there, but also just the audience here to know about, the climate? Because I know you mentioned a really diurnal shift, but going from west to east, I mean, how does it change?
You know, it changes again, we looked at the broader Lodi AVA and divided it up into 7 sub-AVAs for a reason. Because if you look at the size and magnitude of the Lodi AVA, there are so many different growing regions within that. And so when you look at from the western side of the appellation to the east, you're going into, it's much more coastal, cooler. You get these really beautiful cooling breezes at night that actually that diurnal shift that you mentioned could be upwards of 45 degrees from day to night. It is not uncommon. People mischaracterize Lodi as being hot all the time.
Right.
And actually we are much cooler than many of our other neighboring wine grape growing regions. And so it's those breezes that cool us down on the west side especially. But as you go further east, those breezes are going to die down throughout the course of the evening. So as you get up to what we like to call the toes of the Sierra Nevada foothills to the eastern side of the region, the breezes die down somewhat and they're not as strong. And so it is going to be warmer over there. And that's where we're finding a lot of great red grapes growing out there, Tempranos, Cabernet, and others.
And kind of how do the soils change as you go west from east? Because you mentioned the foothills, and I imagine there's a drastic change once you get to the east side.
Oh yeah, they do. You have these wonderful sandy loams as you flow through Lodi proper, and as you start heading up into those fingers, you start getting into these redder clay type soils, a little bit heavier, wonderful for red varietals up there, and so you definitely see a change, and it lends. Obviously, going back to the sub-appellations, you can almost pinpoint exact differences within those appellations, whether it